All right, 3.7, practice standard forms of lines. Let's get after this. So the big thing before we even jump into this is you need to make sure that you have x and y on the same side, either plus or minus, and you want your numbers over here. And then the coefficients, or the numbers in front of x and y, they need to be whole numbers. Okay, they can't be fractions. I guess I shouldn't say whole numbers. They need to be integers because they can be negative. But no fractions allowed. So x and y on the left, no fractions. Technically, the coefficient in front of x is supposed to be positive. I've seen the SAT sneak a couple negative ones on there, so I don't know how strict they adhere to it, but usually my test I'm going to be pretty strict with. My answers are always going to have positives in front of the x's. All right, so here we go. Number one, write the standard form. So this is just rearranging. Well, right now, the y and the x are on the left-hand side. He's in the wrong spot. So I'm going to minus 5 from both sides, and I'll have y plus 4x equals negative 5. Usually, I would have just switched these two using the commutative property. Y plus 4x is the same thing as 4x plus y. I usually don't write down that in-between step. I just kind of do it as I go. But this looks pretty good. Looks like we're in standard form. So typically the number that's in front of the x we call a. The number that's in front of the y we call b. And the constant over here by itself is c. So in this case, a is 4, b is a positive 1, c is a negative 5. There's some shortcuts I'm going to teach you with the b's and c's and a's later on. All right, looking at number 2. Looks like x is on the wrong side, so we have to subtract x from both sides. So we're going to get this. And then technically we should multiply the whole row by a negative 1. And that way we make sure that our coefficient in front of x is positive 1. All right, moving right along. Down to the next couple. Sketch a graph. Different ways to sketch graphs. We could, I think, 2 ways, however you want to kind of go about this. But way number 1, you can always make a table. All right, and then way number 2 is to rewrite in y equals form, rewrite in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to show you both ways. So in example 3, I'm going to make a table. It looks really easy to make a table. So kind of make this table. And if I just start picking values, if I put 0 in for x, y would have to be 1. So I know that's a point on the graph. If I pick 1 for x, y would have to be 0. If I pick 4 for x, let's say, well, 4 plus that, y would have to be a negative 3. So 4, negative 3. And then we start to see where our line is, and we should be able to sketch a graph, of the line here. If you want to rearrange it, you could minus x from both sides, and you'll have y equals, I like to put the negative x in the front because that's where it usually goes, and I'll just leave the 1 right here at the back. And now I can see that it has a y-intercept of 1. It has a slope of negative 1 because of that. So it's going down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And you'll get the exact same line either way. Something like number 4, I think a table is going to be much harder to start picking values. So I would immediately go into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to leave the negative 2y where it is, and I'm going to move the 3x over and make it negative 3x. I then have to divide everybody by negative 2. And what shakes out from that is I'll get y equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So there's my slope. And negative 4 divided by negative 2 is a plus 2. So start at my y-intercept. Positive slope means we're going up and right. So up 3 over 2. Down 3 the other way 2. Down 3 the other way 2. And I got the line. Most graphing calculators cannot handle standard form. Desmos can if you go online. But graphing calculators require to be put in slope-intercept form. It's just the way they're programmed. Don't know why. Seems like Texas Instruments would figure that out, but they don't. Not as of the last one I saw. So write standard form of the equation given the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to write this in slope-intercept form because that's what you're giving me. You're giving me slope and intercept. So y equals negative 8/3 x minus 5. Well, the first problem is we're not allowed to have fractions. So my first step is I'm going to clear the fractions out. And you can do this anytime in algebra. Most people aren't taught to do this, but you can. If I want to get rid of this divide by 3, I'm going to multiply everybody by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3, this term by 3, and this term by 3. And the result of that is 3y equals, there's really nothing to do here because divide by 3 and times by 3 cancel. That's why I chose to do it. And then I get a minus 15. We're so close to standard form, we just got to get the 8x on the proper side. So we're going to throw him over here by making him positive. Technically, we added 8x to both sides, but hopefully you can just see that you're just throwing things to the other side. And once they go across that equal sign, they got to change sign. All right, kicking it up a little bit on these ones. This is using 3/6 and 3/7 kind of together. So now they give me the slope and they give me a point. So I'm going to first get it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to first try to get this in slope-intercept form, which I'm calling SI. All right, well, we have y equals 3/2 x plus b. I don't know what the y-intercept is. But now I have an x and I have a y that I can plug in. So 1 equals 3/2 times a negative 2 plus b. And that's going to be 1 equals, that's going to be negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3 plus b. So it looks like adding 3 to both sides, b equals 4. So I can go back up now and I know my equation is y equals 3x plus 4. Well, in 3/6 we were done. All right, in 3/6 that was it. You were all set. We need to get to standard form. So standard form, I'm going to multiply everybody by 2 because I want to clear out this fraction first. So if I multiply everybody by 2, I get 2y equals 3x plus 8. All right, so realize all I did was I times by 2, which canceled, and times by 2. And now we're in pretty good shape. I need to get this 3x over here, so I'm going to make it negative. And SAT might think this is okay. Kraft's going to say, no, we're going to make it perfect. So we're going to multiply everybody by a negative 1 so that our coefficient in front of x, that number right there, is positive. That's old school. That's the way I was taught, so I'm going to keep on teaching it that way. There we go. Moving on down, number 7. Similar type of problem, just an extra step, because before we can write a slope-intercept form, so remember that's where I'm going to start, starting in slope-intercept, I don't have the slope or the intercept. So let's get the slope. So the slope, remember, is the change in y over the change in x. So change in y, 5 minus negative 5. Change in x, 3 minus negative 4, gives me 10 over 7. All right, so I have a slope of 10/7. So I can start this thing. I can say, hey, it's y equals 10/7 x, but I don't know what my y-intercept is. I don't know b. So I pick an x and a y to plug in. Looking up top, I like these because they're both positive. So let's jam that y right there. And let's jam this x right here. And I get 35 equals 10 over 7 times 3 plus b. And 3 is really like 3 over 1. I don't know why I put 35 here. I just plugged 5 in there. That's just 5. Sorry about that. And so then I have, 30 over 7 plus b equals, well, instead of writing 5, I need a common denominator. I need it to be sevenths. So 5 is really the same thing as 35 over 7. Okay, that comes out to be 5. And so I'm going to write that here. Just going to replace the 5 with 35 divided by 7. And now it's going to be nice because when I minus this 37ths from both sides, 35 minus 30 is 5/7. So I'm like, okay, B is 5/7. So I have my B, I can put it back in, it's 5/7. Now, this is in slope-intercept form. We need to change it to standard form. So first thing I think I should do is I need to cancel out those 7s. So times by 7, times by 7, which is going to cancel, times by 7, which is going to cancel. And what I'm left with is 7y equals 10x plus 5. Now x is on the wrong side, so throw it to the other side. And now x is negative, so times everybody by a -1, aka flip all the signs. And we are golden. We're good to go. A couple more. Got to do the old parallel perpendicular bit. No big deal. So again, we start off in slope-intercept form. And I want to be parallel to this dude. Well, parallel means I got to be the same slope. So my line is going to be y equals, I'm kind of a copycat here, I'm going to be y equals -3/4 x. Don't know my b. So take the point they give me, plug it in, and I get -4 equals a -3/4 times 5, which is really 5/1, plus b. And I got -4 equals, well, that would be a -15/4 plus b. And really, I can't add the 15/4 to the other side because this is, remember, this is 4/1. So to fix that, I need to have a denominator of 4. So to get a denominator of 4, I'm just going to times both these numbers by 4. And -4 is really -16/4. So now, I think, and if you have a calculator that can add fractions, you don't really have to do this. But I'm going to add 15/4 to both sides. Add 15/4 to this side. And you get -1/4 equals b. So I come back up here to my original equation, and I got -1/4. Now, standard or slope-intercept form looks good, but we need standard form. So I probably better clear out some of those 4's. So let's times by 4, which is going to cancel, times by 4, which is going to cancel. And I'm going to end up with 4y equals -3x minus 1. Add 3x to both sides, and we are money. Boom. Standard form. You're all set. 3x plus 4y equals 1. So a lot going on there. Last one, number 9. I start off in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to start off in SI. So bam. And I want to be perpendicular to this. So that means I need to flip it, and I need to change the sign. So my starter equation is -7/4 x plus b. I'm going to jam in my points. Boom, boom. I got a -2 equals a -7/4 times 4, which is pretty nice because some things are about to cancel. Finally, catch a break. -2 equals, these are going to cancel out, and I'm going to get -7x plus b. Or no, I don't. Where did I put that x back in there? I substituted. It's gone. Going crazy. So then to get b, I add 7 to both sides, and I get b equals 5. So I come back up here to my original equation. I pop a 5 in there and put 5 in the mix. So now I got a plus 5. So slope-intercept form is done, but it's not standard form. So standard form, I'm going to clear out that 4. I'm going to come through here, and I'm going to multiply everybody by 4, times by 4, times by 4, which is going to give me 4y equals negative 7x plus 20. Add the 7x to both sides. Boom, boom, boom. And we are sitting tight, standard form, looking beautiful. Hopefully that helped you out. I know I went quick, but the bell was about to ring, so see you.